What if the thing you gave up on wasn't broken? What if it was finished? What if the dream you abandoned, the relationship you walked away from, the version of yourself you stopped believing in, was never the problem? What if the only thing that needed fixing was the way you were looking at it? Elias had spent 3 years on a single watch. Hand-carved silver. Gears assembled by memory and instinct. Every detail placed with the kind of patience that only someone who truly loves their craft can sustain. But one morning he sat down at his bench, looked at what he had built, and felt nothing. Worse than nothing. Disgust. The silver looked dull to him now. The gears felt sluggish. What once felt like a calling now felt like 3 years of wasted life staring back at him. And so he did what exhausted people do when they've been too close to something for too long. He decided it was worthless. He walked to the city square and sold it to a stranger for a handful of coins. Barely enough for a meal. And he felt something that scared him later. Relief. Like he'd finally put down something heavy. He didn't know yet that the weight he felt wasn't the watch. It was his own doubt. Months later, word reached his town of a timepiece on display in the capital. People were traveling days just to see it. Calling it extraordinary. Calling it once in a generation. Elias made the journey. He told himself it was curiosity. But something deeper pulled him. Something he couldn't name. The exhibition hall was silent in the way that only truly beautiful things make a room silent. People stood in a circle, speaking in whispers. In the center, on a velvet pedestal beneath soft light, sat a watch. The silver shimmered like something alive. The ticking was so precise, so steady. It sounded like a heartbeat that had never once been afraid. "I would give everything I own for this," Elias said aloud. He wasn't performing. He meant it completely. The curator beside him smiled sadly. "I'm sorry. This one isn't for sale. A traveler brought it to us some months ago. Found it in a dusty workshop. We didn't build it. We didn't restore it. All we did was clean it. Polished the silver. Oiled the gears. That was all it ever needed." Elias leaned forward. His eyes moved to the back of the watch. And there, almost invisible, was a small scratch in the silver. A mark he had made himself. An accident in the second year. A flaw he had cursed at the time. He was standing in a crowded exhibition hall, surrounded by strangers, trying to buy back something he had thrown away. His own work. His own 3 years. His own masterpiece. The watch hadn't changed. The value had never left. He had changed. He had looked at it too long with exhausted eyes. And mistaken his own burnout for the work being broken. Here is the truth this story carries. Creators make the worst critics of their own work. Not because they lack taste. Because they are too close. They see every flaw. Every compromise. Every moment it didn't become what they imagined. And they forget that the stranger in the room, the one seeing it fresh, sees something else entirely. So before you walk away, before you sell it for less than it's worth, before you abandon the career, the relationship, the dream, the version of yourself you've been quietly building. Ask one honest question. Is it actually broken? Or are you just too tired to see what you've made? Because sometimes, all a masterpiece needs is someone willing to polish it. And that someone has always been you. Drop a word in the comments. What have you been too close to see clearly? This is Sunrise Tales. Stories that don't just inspire you. They move you. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you at sunrise.